would like to call the meeting to order. We appreciate everyone being here tonight. Good evening. We'd like to welcome anyone that's watching on our television broadcast also. This is our January the 11th, 2016 work session of the Board of Education. The first order of business that I would like to address would be the adoption of the agenda, and I will need that in the form of a motion, please. Ms. Cherry has made the motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Ramsey?
Second, please.
Any discussion? All in favor? And it is unanimous. Thank you very much. The next item is School Board Recognition Month, and I would like to recognize Todd Hagan.
Thank you, Mr. Lutz, and good evening, members of the Board of Education and Superintendent Booker. Tonight, we would like to take time to express our sincere appreciation to the members of the Gaston County Board of Education in celebration of School Board Recognition Month. Helping with the presentation this evening is a group of students from our elementary schools. Each year, we take great pride in recognizing and honoring the 9 citizens who serve on the Board of Education. Our board members are business professionals and civic leaders who care about the children of Gaston County schools and the future of our community. Our Board of Education members epitomize service to others through their hard work, leadership, commitment, and expertise in guiding the public schools in Gaston County. We are a better school system because of the 9 people who serve on the Board of Education and because of our Superintendent of Schools. This year, to help us recognize and pay tribute to the Board of Education and Superintendent Booker, we chose an elementary school for each board member and had a class at the school to adopt the board member. Tonight, a representative from each school is here to present a special framed picture of the class to each board member. So we will begin our recognition, and when I call the board member's name, if the student and his or her teacher would come forward, we will hand you the framed picture that you will present to the board member, and as they are coming forward, we ask the board member to join us down front for the presentation. And we will begin with our Board of Education Chairman, Kenneth Lutz. And to honor Mr. Lutz, who represents the Crowders Mountain Township, is Lacey Hendricks, who is in Brittany Beam's 3rd grade class at Bessemer City Central Elementary School.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Do you know all these people? Okay, well, that's good. Okay, I'm not going to make you name everyone. Thank you very much, and we thank your class and we thank your school for all the recognitions that y'all have done this month. Thank you very much. And you have to get the thing about this, see, you're going to be able to go back to school tomorrow and you're going to brag and say, I got my picture made last night. Y'all want autographs? So, if you're ready, make sure you take an extra pencil because you don't want you to run out when you start signing autographs. Okay? Thank you, ma'am. Now, I'm serious about the picture. Come on. I'm serious. Stand on this side over here. There you go.
You're scaring her, Kenny.
I'm not going to scare her.
Smiling. And one more.
Thank you very much.
Next, to recognize Vice Chairman Jeff Ramsey, who is an at-large member on the Board of Education, we have Kirsten Watkins from New Hope Elementary School. She is in Kendall Gunn's 3rd grade class. Kirsten.
Thank you, Kirsten. You're in the 3rd grade. Well, my 2 sons went to New Hope, and guess what? Miss Gunn was our 1st grade teacher. That's pretty neat, huh? So always special with first grade teachers, but the third grade is just as good. You're doing a lot of reading in the third grade? Good. Well, let's get our picture taken, and we'll get Miss Gooden with us.
Yes.
Come on over here.
Okay.
Ah, no, you
Oh, I'm
we'll
sorry.
just put her.
Okay.
Here we go.
One more.
If y'all want to, let's go live.
Her mom wanted to get a picture of.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, sorry, come back here, Mom.
Where is it?
I'll put it on.
Come on there, Lucy. That world.
Congratulations. Oh, hi. Nice to see you. Hi, nice to come in. She broke it. Uh-oh. Crossing the screen. She just got it on today. Thank you.
With a presentation to Mr. Lee Dedman, who represents the Gastonia Township, is Zahara Brown from Woodhill Elementary School. She is in Andrea Thompson's 4th grade class.
Well, thank you.
I don't think I have my name. I don't have my name right there, do I?
I don't think so. This is Alex.
What's his last name?
Okay.
Alex Hester.
Thank you, Alex.
I apologize, board members. This is Alex Hester.
We do that right off the bat. This is really nice. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all of us board members, but I really, really appreciate what our teachers do and our students and our parents. That's the most important thing. But the success that you have makes us look good, but it really makes you all look good. And thank you. Come on, let's get a picture. Alex. Do I need to sit in a chair? I don't mind getting a chair. I'll borrow one. There you go. See your face. There you go. Stand up straight.
One more.
He's taking a picture way down here. Bye, Alex. Thank you, sir.
Next, we have Landon Cloninger from Emily Harris's 3rd grade class at Cherville Elementary School to honor and recognize Mark Upchurch, who represents the Cherville Township. Landon.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate everything y'all do at Cherville Elementary. You having a good year?
Great.
Great. Great. Have you seen this lady called Miss Upchurch?
Yes.
You see her a lot. Okay. All right. Well, let's come over here and we'll get us a picture. If I'd known you were coming, I'd have shaved. Okay. Hold it together.
And one more. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Thank you. Thank you for much of it.
Now we would like to honor Catherine Roberts, who represents the Dallas Township. From Carr Elementary, we have Cody Combs. She is a student in Casey Ramsey's 4th grade class at Carr Elementary School.
Thank you. Show me where you are in here. Okay, what do you say I come to y'all's class and we get another picture too with me in there too? What do you think? That'd be cool. Okay, come on over here. Because remember how we talked about you were just a little bit nervous, but then you'd be able to see yourself on television tonight? Wave at everybody. I'm on TV! Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Let's get our picture together, okay? Oh, we have to get on the X.
But Sean can't take it anyway.
Keep smiling. And one more.
Wait a minute, Mom was taking one from the back. You want to come out here in the middle and take one?
I got one.
Here from Rankin Elementary School to recognize Kevin Collier, who represents the Riverbend Township, is Wyatt Suttonfield. Wyatt is in Missy Arndt's 4th grade class at Rankin Elementary School.
Now listen, you go back and tell all your friends that whenever it snows and they close school, that's me. And when they decide to go to school, that's those guys. But I know you're teaching Miss Art very well, and I know your parents real well too. They're up with your daddy. But thank you very much for coming here tonight and presenting this to me. Come on, you gonna get the picture?
Smiles.
Show his ass off.
And one more.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Good job. I know your daddy too. Hey.
Here to recognize Dot Cherry, who is an at-large member on the Board of Education, we have Tyler Ohm, who is a 4th grade student in Rebecca Sissel's class at Forest Heights Elementary School.
Come on, Tyler. Come on, Bridget. Thank you so much. Now, I want to tell y'all how old we are, with the exception of Catherine. When they took our pictures, we didn't have color film. That's how old we are. And we all had to sit at desks, and we had to wear dresses. So that's how old, which, well, even Lee. That's how old. But thank y'all so much. This is very special, and I'm going to find a good place for it. Now, where are you? You've got on a dress. That's your principal. I'm a big cut up. But thank you. This is really, really special. And I know y'all work very hard, and I'm going to come see you soon, okay? All right, come on. Let's go. Come on, Sean. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I got to get back in the swing of things.
Not doing too good.
Come on.
You let him go.
Frank.
You want? Oh, the frame. You have a good day? Did you have a good day?
Smiley done. And one more.
Okay, go check in my picture.
Thank you.
To honor Superintendent Booker this evening, we have Chloe Lindsay, a third grade student in Leah Suggs' class at Lingerfelt Elementary School.
She's actually our student.
Student council, we already have a future politician.
Very smiling, good. And one more.
I think your dad wants to come.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Are you the
You too.
And Mr. Booker, if you will accept for Mr. Howell and Ms. Guthrie the presentation to Mr. Howell. From Belmont Central Elementary, we have Rianne Smith, a fourth grade student in Amanda Beatty's class. Rianne is here to honor Chris Howell, who represents the South Point Township on the Board of Education.
And one more.
You know, I used to wear shoes like that too. I'm sorry. I'm glad they get them made full circle.
Same size.
Yeah, that fourth grade.
And to recognize Dot Guthrie, who represents the Gastonia Township, is Corbin Maxon from Sherwood Elementary School. Corbin is in Brianne Heslop's third grade class at Sherwood Elementary School.
And one more.
Yeah.
Get another picture.
Great job. You just swing on over.
Sorry, Dad's out of town. Thank you.
We would like to thank all of the children for being here this evening, and a special thank you to their parents, teachers, and principals for helping us with our Board of Education appreciation. All of us in Gaston County Schools, the students, teachers, employees, and parents, we appreciate what you do as our Board of Education, and we thank you for taking good care of our schools. Thank you, Mr. Lutz.
Thank you, Todd. From the Board of Education, I would like to say this one more time. We do thank you. We thank every student. We thank every parent. We thank every teacher and every principal and every assistant principal. Without all y'all out there helping us get things accomplished, we would not be able to accomplish the things that Gaston County Schools has been able to accomplish. And thank you very much, and thank you for choosing us to represent you. Thank you very much. Our next item on the agenda is the classroom moment, and I would like to recognize Dr. Balknight.
Good evening, board members, Chairman Lutz, Superintendent Booker. I want to take just a minute to let the room clear out, because one of the things that I want to share with you, our classroom moment for this evening, is about our science fair. It was timely. We just had the science fair last Saturday, and for me, it was one of the first opportunities I had to spend the amount of time that I did on Saturday there. And when I first walked in, some of the directors said, "We're concerned because we have to have now 3 award ceremonies." Well, that's a great problem to have. This science fair has been occurring for the last 8 years, and for the first time, we've had to have 3 award ceremonies. So competition has now become 4th through 12th grade. So we have an elementary group, a middle school group, and a high school group. And it was great to see the parents enter the auditorium, get to hear their children share information about their science project, get awards, get recognized, and to see that occur for elementary, middle, and high. In fact, the elementary group was a little delayed because the competition was so fierce. So it was great to see this great opportunity. I think I rode around the parking lot for about 7 or 8 minutes looking for a parking space. So it was well supported by our community. Our parents were excited, and the kids were really charged up and excited to participate in our science fair. The other thing that was very exciting for me to see is the community support that we have. We had several community sponsors. We have Lithium. We have the Gaston College Spark Award of Excellence. We have the FMC Lithium Corporation from Bessemer City. They also are the corporate sponsor, for this event, and they were there throughout the event to present awards, give feedback, weigh on some of the science projects. So it was a great opportunity. We've invited some of our kids tonight to be our classroom moment. For those of you that couldn't attend, and for those of you on TV, to see some of the great future scientists that we have in Gaston County. So at this time, I will turn it over to the person that has really worked hard in the trenches for the last 8 years to continue to promote and move our science fair project to be the regional science fair to watch. So we're very excited. I'd like to recognize at this time Ms. Mims to come forward and share information about our students that are here tonight.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here. In front of you, we shared with you a copy of our pamphlet that all of our students received, as well as the parents and our community members that visited with us on Saturday. Our corporate sponsors are listed on the back. The purple document is a list of all of our winners. We only have our overall winners here tonight. If we asked all of our winners to be here, we would have almost 70 students in the room. And I'm not sure that we would have the space here to do that. But we did want you to know who those students were. So if you are in those schools and at other events and you happen across these students, please congratulate them for their success. Our next step, all of these students have the ability now to apply and submit their projects to the UNCC Region 6 Science and Engineering Fair to be held on February the 13th at UNCC. If they place at UNCC, they then get to go to our North Carolina Science and Engineering Fair held at Meredith College on April the 2nd. So there's some exciting opportunities here for all of these students. They thought the stress ended on Saturday, but for our winners, it just continues because now we're grinding for the next event. So tonight we have 3 groups to share with you. Our first group are our elementary overall winners. From Lowell Elementary School, we have William McInnes and Aaron Hand.
Miss Mims, share what grade they are.
These students are 5th grade, Lowell Elementary School, and they are in Miss Baxter's class. And since I'm bringing up Miss Baxter, I am going to mention accolades goes to Miss Baxter because almost the entire 5th grade at Lowell Elementary School did projects and came to the event on Saturday.
Hi, I'm William McInnes. Hi, I'm Aaron Hand. And this is our project, Operation AC, an AC electric generator. AC stands for alternating currents.
Our hypothesis was if we use more wires, then we could create more electrical currents because there are more electrons moving.
In our results, after we did the experiment, we found out not only the amount of wires wrapped around the housing for the magnet affected how many milliamps were generated, but also the speed of the magnet spinning. The faster that it spun, the faster the electrons would be moving. So therefore, if you used a faster drill to spin the magnet, it would generate more milliamps.
So our question was, does the amount of wires wrapped around the housing for the magnet affect the amount of electrical currents being generated? Our results were the data shows that the magnet.
The analysis of the data shows that the more wires wrapped around the housing for the magnet create more electric currents because there are more electrons moving. When the electrons move, it creates electric current. Special thanks to our parents, Miss Baxter, and all the other teachers that helped us. Thank you.
And one more. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we would also like to recognize our middle school overall winner. Her name is Emily Mobley from Belmont Middle School.
My name is Emily Mobley. For my project, I did playground bacteria biodiversity. My inspiration for my project was my 3-year-old little sister. When she was playing on the playground equipment, I wondered if she was ingesting bacteria. The flooded playground being next to the river after a flood could possibly be infected with E. coli from sewage runoff into the river. So I thought the flooded playground might have more bacteria and possibly be infected with E. coli. I learned after sampling the flooded and unflooded playground that neither was infected with E. coli, which was great. But that could have been because the UV radiation eliminates the bacteria, which is the sun. When it heats up, it gets rid of the bacteria. And it could have been the time that I sampled it. But there was more bacteria at the flooded playground. Although there was no E. coli, I did find lactobacillus, bacillus subtilis, endospores, and tetanus on the flooded playground. I also have 3 types of unidentified gram-negative bacteria. That means it's infectious. In the continuation of my research, I plan to explore more playgrounds and variables. This project is really deep in my love for science, and I know that I want to include STEM in my career. My project could not have been possible without the help of Dr. Lav at Gaston College with her mentorship and facilities, Ms. Lawling's facilities and guidance, Ms. Del Casillo's energy that really piqued my interest in science. And I would like to thank the Gaston County School Board for letting me be here today.
Smiling. And one more. Thank you.
And finally, our high school overall winners come from Stuart Kramer High School. They are students of Phoebe Lawing. Our students are Caroline Murphy and Sarah Bethune. I apologize, that's Scarlett Bethune.
Hey guys, I'm Scarlett Bethune. This is Caroline Murphy, and we're seniors at Stuart Kramer High School. This is our project, Honey, I Shrunk the Bacteria. We originally decided to do this project because Caroline wants to go into pharmacy and I want to go into the environmental field. So we really wanted to find a project that combined our 2 passions, so we focused on a natural remedy.
So once we knew that we wanted to focus on some sort of natural remedy, we began doing research on different types of honeys, and we found that Manuka honey, which comes from a tea tree in New Zealand, is actually really effective with wound healing and bacterial inhibition. So we began our research on that, and we decided that we were going to use the honey to compare it to water for killing staph bacteria and E. coli. So we used the Manuka honey, water, and we also compared it to pyruvaldehyde, which is a chemical that's inside of the honey. It's the active ingredient. So we used those 3, and in our experiment, we actually found that at the 100% level, the Manuka honey did significantly inhibit bacteria growth in comparison to the water. We also found that the pyruvaldehyde was very effective in killing the bacteria. We actually significantly kill bacteria at concentrations as low as 0.0016%. The only problem is the pyruvaldehyde is very dangerous on its own, and it can't be used for medicinal purposes. But the honey was effective, which was something that we really appreciated because it did fit our hypothesis, although it wasn't quite as effective as we had expected from the literature.
So through this project, we were actually able to be in contact with a young man who has a surgical wound that was infected with Staphylococcus aureus, which is one of the bacteria that we used in our project. And he was going through a treatment called Medi-Honey, and it contains the same kind of honey that we used in our project also. So we were really glad that this project was something that was real world applicable and something that really mattered in somebody's life. And through interviewing with this individual, we really gained insight into the life of somebody who we could potentially affect in the future, and that was really, really great for both of us.
At this time, I'd like to remind you of the brochure that you have in front of you. And just once again, thank our sponsors. It would not be possible for us to have completed this research and for the Science and Engineering Fair to be a possibility if we didn't have these sponsors. So we'd like to thank Gaston County Schools and the school board for promoting STEM education for us, because that's something we're both interested in, and we really appreciate the opportunity that we've been given to do this research and to compete. We'd also like to thank the Schill Museum for being the host of the science fair. It was a great opportunity for us to be a part of, and we really appreciate that facility. We'd also like to thank North Carolina Cooperative Extension, who helps Science Fair reach out into the community in order to recruit judges. We'd specifically like to thank FMC for their financial contributions to the fair and helping the fair to become a possibility through those contributions. We'd also like to thank Gaston College for sponsoring the Spark of Genius Award and for helping with judges throughout the science fair. We'd also like to personally thank Gaston College, because one thing that we were very grateful for was that this was considered a dangerous project for high school students, but since we couldn't do it in the school building, we weren't told that we couldn't do it by science fair. We were encouraged to go somewhere bigger that gave us the facility that we needed. And so we'd like to thank Dr. Anant Lev for that help. And we'd also like to thank Ms. Lawing, who's our teacher that helped us throughout this process, and Ms. Devine and all of our school administration for helping us take the future by storm.
Thank you so much, students and parents. And I think they want to take a picture of the group. And then after they take their picture with their exhibit, I would ask that all students come if we could get a picture of all of our science fair winners.
And one more.
If all the science fair winners will come up so that we can take a picture together as a group, and then if you'll come around and shake the board's hand after you take your picture. And I'm sure Mr. Higgins wants you to stand on the X. Mr. Dedman was over here recruiting her to be a science teacher for us in the next couple of years.
And a big smile. Thank you.
Are you missing it?
Great job, man. We've been impressed. That was good, huh? Clean to go down and play house quick. Yeah, that's,
The next item on the agenda is National Mentoring Month, and I would like to recognize Mr. Hagan.
Good evening again, Chairman Lutz, Vice Chairman Ramsey, members of the board, and Superintendent Booker. In addition to celebrating School Board Recognition Month, January is National Mentoring Month, a time when schools across the United States recognize the caring adults who serve as positive role models for children. This evening, we are excited about the opportunity to present information about the Gaston County Schools Mentoring Program and to take a moment to publicly thank the mentors we have in our schools. Joining me for this presentation is Valerie Yatko, the Director of Business and Community Partnerships, who coordinates the mentoring program. The theme for National Mentoring Month is In Real Life. A mentor is a person who affects the real life of a student by acting as a teacher, guide, and friend. The mentor is there to listen, offer support, improve self-esteem, and build a trusting relationship. Oftentimes, the student turns to the mentor to talk, seek advice, and gain perspective about how to handle what is going on in school and at home. Our mentoring program in Gaston County Schools began 23 years ago. Currently, we have approximately 200 people who give of their time and energy to volunteer as school mentors. While our mentoring program is designed to benefit students, Ms. Yatko can tell you that we often hear stories about how mentors gain so much from helping their mentee. There is no doubt that the program is an enriching experience for both students and adults. At this time, I would like for Ms. Yatko to come forward to share some information about how the mentoring program works.
Good evening, Chairman Lutz, Superintendent Booker, members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening to share some information about our Gaston County Schools Mentoring Program. At this time, I would like to share and answer some of the most frequently asked questions about our mentoring program. One question we often get is, how does the mentoring program work? Well, our mentoring program is a school site-based program. Mentors meet weekly for up to 1 hour on school grounds during the school day. The mentoring time is guided by the mentor, but the student has input into how they spend that time together based on the student's interests and the student's needs. Some of the activities during mentoring time can include reading, playing games, exploring interests and careers, talking about college life, planning for college, and also talking about life after high school graduation. Mentors also share important life skills with their mentees. For example, one of our mentors did something as simple as showing a young man how to tie his tie. Another woman shared some valuable tips on how to sew and how to mend with her mentee. Some mentors help with school projects, and others just open a window for the students by drawing attention to global society by sharing pictures of places that they've traveled to or visited. Our mentors are volunteers over the age of 18. They come from all walks of life and diverse backgrounds. We have working adults who mentor for Gaston County Schools, college students, retirees, some of our own GCS employees mentor, and we have community and business partners who also mentor in our schools. Another question, what makes a good mentor? Well, above all else, mentors must enjoy spending time with young people, but they must be able to communicate and also have a valuable ability to listen. These are just some qualities. There are many qualities that make up a good mentor, but those three are probably the most important. So that brings us to our next question, how do I become a mentor? Well, it's an easy process. To become a mentor, a person is required to complete an online volunteer application for Gaston County Schools, go through a background screening, and attend a 90-minute orientation session. Where can you serve when you mentor? You can serve in any one of our schools, and you can indicate whether you prefer working with an elementary school-age child, a middle school-age child, or a high schooler. Once the mentee selects the school counselor will work with them to match them with a student and introduce them and make them comfortable to begin their mentoring process. And finally, who do I contact about the mentoring program? Well, anyone interested in becoming a mentor can call the Office of Business and Community Partnerships for Gaston County Schools, which is the office that I'm very proud to serve in. That phone number is 704-866-6329. Or you can go on our homepage for Gaston County Schools, click on the link, Become a Mentor. Our next training actually comes this coming Wednesday morning, January 13th. It'll be here at the central office, and it's not too late to register, so we certainly invite interested individuals to contact us. If you can't make this week's mentoring training, there will be another one on February 17th as well as March 16th. And we are also available to go out into the community to conduct a training session at businesses or any organizations that might be interested. Again, contact the Business and Community Partnerships office. So I certainly encourage folks during this time, this month of recognition of National Mentoring, to sign up and get involved. Mentoring is a great program. We have seen great results in our schools as a result of mentoring. Just today, I received an email from one of our new mentors who's just been working with a student for a couple of months. And they had a good session this morning, and at the close of the session, the mentor reminded the young man it was time to go back to class. And he said, "I wish you could come every day." And the coordinator also shared with me that just in this brief time, they've already seen an increase in self-confidence and a difference that this mentor is making with this child. The mentor is so excited that she actually pledged today that she will stay with this child till graduation. He's in the 3rd grade. But that just speaks very highly of the power speaks to the power of the mentoring relationship. So that's only one example. We have many stories to share, but we certainly encourage folks to become involved as mentors in Gaston County Schools.
Thank you, Valerie, for sharing that information. When we say that we have 200 mentors, you immediately think, well, that is a lot of people, and it is. But when you consider that we have 32,000 students in Gaston County Schools, you quickly realize that we could use many more mentors. That is why we are working now to expand our mentoring program. Our goal is to work this spring on getting people interested in the program and getting them through the application process and training. So when the 2016-2017 school year begins in August, we will have the mentors in place to begin working with our students. So tonight, I know that each board member joins me in thanking the individuals who serve as mentors in our schools. Our mentors enhance the educational program, and they help our children become more successful in life. And with that, our thank you comes this invitation. If you would like to serve as a role model for a young person in our community, we encourage you to become a mentor at the school in your neighborhood. You could be that one person to make a significant difference in the life of a child. Thank you for listening, and if you have questions, we'll be glad to answer them.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Ms. Yatko. Any questions from the board? I think it's a wonderful program, and it's great to see so many individuals taking time out of their day to be with these children and at all levels, I guess, elementary, middle, and high school. I do have one quick question. Do we have mentors that actually do more than do one grade level, or is it possible for them to do 2 different children, like, spreading their time, trying to spread their time out? Do they do that sometimes?
Yes, actually, we do have several mentors that mentor more than one child.
Okay.
And we would welcome that. If
Okay.
a person has the time, we certainly have the children to match them with.
Thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much. Any other questions, comments? Thank you very much. We appreciate it. At this time, next item on the agenda would be Mr. Hoskins. I think he wants to speak out on the process, getting ready to start about the budget process. It seems to me, and I think the whole board will agree, the later we get every year before everything gets finalized, it's time for Gary to talk again. So I guess you're just on standby every month. So we do appreciate that, and thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman Ramsey, members of the board, Superintendent Booker. I have included in your board package a copy for information purposes of our budget calendar. This calendar essentially is the same process that we went through last year. So right now what we're doing is we have sent out budget questionnaires asking our stakeholders about budget priorities. We've sent those to various members of leadership, principals, teachers, students, parents, and community and business leaders. And I'm in the process of gathering all that information together. And then when you have your board retreat on the 23rd, I believe it is, 22nd, 23rd, then I'll be able to present that information to you, and that will really kick off the budget process. So, right now we're gathering information. Next month we'll be meeting with fund managers and department heads to try to get their input as well. But the goal obviously is to have a superintendent's budget to you in April and have that budget presented to the county commissioners by the deadline of May 15th, and then to have an interim budget prior to June 30th. At that point, we're at the mercy of the state. So, as I said, no changes from last year, and this is really information purposes, but I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Are there any questions for Mr. Hoskins?
I have one.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dedman.
Mr. Hoskins, I'm just curious. I read in the paper that the Charlotte Board of Education and their county commissioners are thinking about changing the way they do their funding allotment. Would that be a benefit to us to explore that kind of possibility, or would it not?
Are you talking about between the county, the local funding, and the school system? Right now, as you know, the funding was flat from last year to this year. Every year we present to them what we believe the funding should be in order to best provide the best opportunity for education for the students of Gaston County. I'm not exactly familiar with their allotment process, but would certainly be open to listen to any new ideas.
I think basically, Mr. Booker, correct me if I'm wrong, basically in the paper it said that they were going to ask for a percentage of money every year to stop the bickering between the Board of Education and the school board in Charlotte-Mecklenburg.
Right.
Just a thought, something to look at.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing no other questions, back to you, Mr. Hoskins.
All right, thank you. We have one other thing.
Yes.
The other item is the presentation for information purposes of a 3-year proposal from our auditors. That's also included in your board package. So we've just completed a 3-year agreement with Anderson, Smith, and Wyke, our independent auditors. The fee that they charged us last year was $38,500. They've agreed to keep that flat for each of the next 3 years. I contacted Union County to find out what their fees were, and they were in the mid to upper 30,000 range as well, just to make sure that we're in the ballpark. So just wanted to present this to you for information, and we will ask for approval at the next formal board meeting.
Okay. Any other comments or questions concerning the choosing of the auditor? We can give Mr. Hoskins a call, or you can feel free to speak to him at any time. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hoskins.
Thank you.
Moving right along, the next item, or it would be board policy updates. I think everyone should have a copy of those in their board book, or they're in the process of making those available. There also will be put online for the general public to look at them for any information that or to view, to let everyone know what we're doing. And you feel free to contact anyone, Mr. Booker or Ms. McGraw, if you have questions on these policy updates when that gets out to everyone. I really think it's everything. I talked to Ms. McGraw and I talked to Mr. Booker about these policy updates. Most of these updates, the majority of these updates, we're trying to stay in line with the state of North Carolina's policy and procedures. And that's what you'll see that when you read them, you'll look at them and you'll see that that's what we're doing. But we do encourage anyone, all board members, to ask questions. If you have a question about one of these, we'll try to get that cleared up before that comes up at our next meeting, and we will be voting on that at our next meeting. Any questions concerning the policy procedure updates? I really, really want to tell our listening, or our, not our TV audience, but our audience that hear, we have a couple people, and y'all feel free to move up to the front if you can't hear. I have a couple announcements or a couple things that I would like to just touch base on before we go into closed session. We have a couple things we need to discuss in closed session, but as you know, next Monday, January the 18th, is Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Every year, our community sponsors have a celebration for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and this year, our very own Doc Guthrie will be the keynote speaker. The Martin Luther King celebration is on Saturday at 6 p.m. at Unity Place and St. Stephen's AME Zion Church, located on West Franklin across from City Hall. All of the board of the educations are invited to attend. Ms. Guthrie wanted to make sure that you had a special invitation, and we encourage anyone in the viewing audience, cabinet, we would like to make sure everyone feel like they're invited to come to that. So I wanted to make that announcement. We also have our board retreat coming up January 22nd and 23rd. I've got a lot of recommended topics from board members. I still have a few more that are supposedly on their way. Mr. Booker and I have basically sat down and kind of worked on a rough agenda of what we will be talking about and some of the things that we're going to talk about. And here again, I wanted to go over this, but in case you have anything else that you think about that you would like. But we're going to be talking about facility and capital needs, and that could take a week if we wanted to. But we're going to try to condense everything so we can get all these things worked in. We have the school choice and the magnet programs. We have an update on the academic achievement. We got the board policies that we're discussing right now, and of course, Mr. Hoskins he's going to have front stage with the budget again. We're going to have to see which way that's going to go. So that's going to be very interesting this year. We also at the retreat we will try to look back past this past year to see some of the things that we have accomplished, because I think this board needs to know that we have accomplished some things, and we've made some great strides with our personnel, with our teachers, with everybody. We've done a lot, and we've brought a lot of grades, and we've enriched our programs, and we've really done a lot of things. And I'd like for everybody to kind of see a little recap of that, of what we're doing. But we encourage you to continue. If you've already sent me something, you've got something else you'd like to send, feel free to send it, and we'll do our best to try to get everything covered between Friday and Saturday, and try to get everybody home by midnight Saturday night. Any comments from the board? Any questions or comments? I think we have a need for a closed session. Yes, Mr. Collier.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to go into closed session under North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11, paragraphs A6 for personnel and A9 for safety plans.
Thank you, Mr. Collier. I have a motion for going in closed session. Do I have a second? I have a second from Ms. Roberts. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, we're going to go in closed session. We are now back in open session. Seeing no other business, are there any more comments from the board?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Collier?
if there's no comments from the board, if it pleases the chair and the board, I make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, and I have a second. All in favor or any discussion first? All in favor? And we're adjourned.